Have the tides of power shifted in the South China Sea? For years, China has asserted its dominance, bullying smaller nations and laying claim to disputed waters. But a recent event suggests a possible change in the balance. The Philippines, long bearing the brunt of China's aggression, successfully resupplied its outpost at Ayungin Shoal. What's more, China's Coast Guard, usually quick to intervene, offered little resistance. What does this apparent hesitation signify? Has the Philippines found a way to stand up to its powerful neighbor? This incident is not just about supplies. It's about sovereignty, international law, and the future of one of the world's most important waterways. The Philippines, backed by a growing chorus of international support, appears to be taking a bolder stance. China, meanwhile, faces a crucial test. Will Beijing continue its heavy-handed tactics, risking further escalation and international condemnation? Or will it choose a more measured approach, paving the way for a peaceful resolution to the long-standing dispute? The resupply mission to Ayungin Shoal was more than just a logistical exercise. It was a potent symbol of the Philippines' resolve. The shoal, a submerged reef claimed by both the Philippines and China, is home to a small contingent of Filipino Marines stationed on a dilapidated World War II-era ship, the BRP Sierra Madre. This rusting hulk, intentionally grounded in 1999, serves as a lonely outpost, a testament to the Philippines' determination to assert its sovereignty in the face of Chinese pressure. The supplies delivered, food, water, fuel and other essentials, are vital for the survival of the Marines stationed there. But their significance goes far beyond mere sustenance. They represent a lifeline, not just for the soldiers, but for the Philippines' claim to the Spratly Islands and its exclusive economic zone. Every box of rations, every gallon of water, underscores the Philippines' refusal to bow to Chinese intimidation. Ayungin Shoal, also known as Second Thomas Shoal, sits at the heart of the South China Sea dispute. Located within the Philippines' 200 nautical mile exclusive economic zone, it falls well within the bounds of the Philippines' internationally recognized maritime territory. However, China, citing historical claims, lays claim to almost the entirety of the South China Sea, including areas claimed by the Philippines, Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and Taiwan. This expansive claim, encapsulated in China's controversial 9-dash line, has been repeatedly rejected by international courts, most notably in a landmark 2016 ruling by the Permanent Court of Arbitration in The Hague. The court found no legal basis for China's historic claims and upheld the Philippines' sovereign rights in its exclusive economic zone. China, however, has refused to recognize the ruling, dismissing it as null and void. China's Coast Guard, a formidable maritime force, has long been at the forefront of Beijing's assertive actions in the South China Sea. Often operating in tandem with Chinese fishing vessels, it has engaged in a pattern of harassment and intimidation against Filipino fishermen and vessels, including those operating legally within the Philippines' exclusive economic zone. These tactics have included dangerous maneuvers, water cannon attacks, and the ramming and sinking of Filipino fishing boats. In some instances, the Chinese Coast Guard has even been accused of preventing Filipino fishermen from accessing traditional fishing grounds, depriving them of their livelihoods and disrupting a vital sector of the Philippine economy. The Philippines holds its ground. The Philippines' recent resupply mission, however, suggests a potential shift in dynamics. Despite the presence of Chinese Coast Guard vessels in the vicinity of Ayungin Shoal, the Philippine Coast Guard, accompanied by supply boats, successfully reached the BRP Sierra Madre. The Chinese vessels, while shadowing the Philippine boats, refrained from the usual aggressive tactics. This uncharacteristic restraint on the part of the Chinese Coast Guard is noteworthy. It may be a sign that Beijing, facing mounting international pressure and wary of escalating tensions, is recalibrating its approach. The Philippines, emboldened by international support and determined to assert its rights, appears unwilling to back down. This newfound resolve could be a game changer, potentially altering the trajectory of the South China Sea dispute. Inside the agreement, a closer look at the deal. The Philippines' success in resupplying its outpost came on the heels of a new agreement with China. The details of the agreement remain confidential, but sources suggest it involves a commitment from both sides to avoid provocative actions in the vicinity of Ayungin Shoal. This includes a pledge to refrain from harassing fishing vessels and to maintain open lines of communication to prevent misunderstandings and potential escalation. The agreement, while limited in scope, represents a positive step towards de-escalation. It signals a willingness on both sides to explore diplomatic channels and to manage their differences through dialogue rather than confrontation. However, it remains to be seen whether this agreement will hold and whether it can pave the way for a more comprehensive resolution to the wider South China Sea dispute. The international response, a cautious welcome. The international community has cautiously welcomed the Philippines' successful resupply mission and the subsequent agreement with China. The United States, a staunch ally of the Philippines, has reaffirmed its commitment to the defense of its treaty partner while also emphasizing the importance of a peaceful resolution to the South China Sea dispute. Other countries, including Australia, Japan, and members of the European Union, have also expressed their support for the Philippines' right to exercise its sovereignty within its EEZ. They have called on all parties to respect international law, including the 2016 Arbitral Tribunal ruling, and to refrain from actions that could escalate tensions in the region. Section 8. What this means for the Philippines. For the Philippines, the successful resupply mission and the agreement with China represent a significant, if cautiously optimistic, development. It demonstrates the Philippines' resolve to defend its sovereign rights and its ability to do so without resorting to force. It also highlights the importance of international support and the effectiveness of diplomacy in managing complex geopolitical challenges. However, the Philippines remains acutely aware of the challenges ahead. China's long-term strategic goals in the South China Sea remain unclear, and its commitment to the recent agreement remains to be tested. The Philippines, therefore, must remain vigilant, continuing to strengthen its defense capabilities, deepen its alliances, and pursue a balanced and pragmatic foreign policy. Section 9. A shift in the balance of power. The recent events in the South China Sea raise the question, has there been a shift in the balance of power? China, with its formidable military and economic might, remains the dominant player in the region. However, the Philippines' successful resupply mission, coupled with growing international support for its position, suggests that Beijing may not have a free hand in the South China Sea. The Philippines' actions, along with the increasing pushback from other Southeast Asian nations and the growing presence of extra-regional powers like the United States, indicate a more contested environment. China may be realizing that its assertive tactics are counterproductive, pushing countries in the region closer to the United States and other external powers. Section 10. The future of the South China Sea, a sea of uncertainty. The future of the South China Sea remains uncertain. The recent events, while offering a glimmer of hope, do not erase the underlying tensions and the potential for miscalculation. The South China Sea, a vital waterway for global trade and a region of strategic importance, is likely to remain a focal point of geopolitical competition for the foreseeable future. The key to a peaceful and stable future lies in dialogue, cooperation, and a shared commitment to international law. All parties involved must exercise restraint, avoid provocative actions, and work together to find peaceful solutions to their differences. The alternative, a spiral of escalation and conflict, would be disastrous for the region and the world. Section 11. In Mind Matters, Will Knowledge Truly Matters? The situation in the South China Sea is a stark reminder that in Mind Matters, will knowledge truly matters. Understanding the complexities of this dispute, the historical context, the legal frameworks, and the motivations of the actors involved is crucial for navigating the challenges ahead and finding a path towards a peaceful and sustainable future. Stay informed, engage in meaningful dialogue, and be a voice for reason and diplomacy. The stakes are too high to remain silent. What are your thoughts on the Philippines' bolder stance in the South China Sea? Do you think this signals a turning point in the dispute? Share your perspectives in the comments below and subscribe for more in-depth analysis of global affairs.